Hello and welcome back. On the last episode we began Volume 17. Only 3 more friends to go, including this one. Last time we went to a party, decided not to go into the party, as we decided it was too lame with our friend Daria. But we did, figure life on Alternia isn't the best. But thankfully, Tizia's, reassured us that it may not be good now, but we can work towards something better. We may not see it, but we can set the foundation. But anyway, yeah, with that we can continue on volume 17 of Teen and Tech. Iserbic. Just assuming that's how it's pronounced. Ah yes, this is it, fellas. Another night of laughter and camaraderie. Another night of joy and communion with totally normal teens who would never... just kidding, idiot. You're still on Alternia. You just know one of these miserable people is around here somewhere, waiting for the exact right moment to inundate you with another disgusting dose of friendship. Who's it going to be the author of your destruction on this accursed evening? Well, we've done Daria, now it's Nihkee Moohlah's turn. Dim lights in the din of a roaring crowd and the smell of a horribly overpriced and nauseating concessions. Even across galaxies, timelines, and perhaps even the universe, there is still something deeply familiar about a sporting arena. Smash her mother-hunking face in. There is also something deeply familiar about sports fans. Blah. Such a shame of having seats next to the purples. They can be so crude and brutish. Don't you agree? Chahat wouldn't be nearly this loud. Usually. You find yourself here, attending a wrestling show. A display of muscular theatre. To use the troll terminology, thanks to the benevolence of one Amisha Erdin. Nice, Amisha just likes showing up everywhere. What is this music? Cool. I'm enjoying it. She won the tickets in a raffle by and excitedly invited you to come along. You agreed, with some reservations that you quickly expressed. She was quite disappointed, but eventually agreed not to kidnap you and keep you locked up in the living paint jar, since you're buddies and all. What a sweet friend. You have to admit, though, muscular theatre isn't really your thing. It's as over-the-top and ridiculous as human wrestling, which makes it perfectly entertaining enough. But it also, well, a lot more violent. Participants aren't expected to die as far as you can tell, but you've already seen a few get wheeled off on futuristic hover stretchers with injuries that you're not quite sure they could survive. Oh gosh, she's nearly got impaled there. Every match tonight is taking place within a chain-link cage. Spikes surrounded on both the outside and inside, and jut out occasionally from the places where the wires cross. The overall design, in addition to the ensuing maximum bloodshed, seems to be both the wrestlers inside and the audience outside. What? Seems to keep both the wrestlers on inside and the audience out. Ironically, it might be safer this way. The current combatants are some olive blood named the Huntress and a purple blood called himself Colpitz. Interestingly to you, there is nothing clown-like about him at all. It's almost conspicuous and how unclownly he is. If only due to the absolute ridiculous amount of clown content you've beaded in the presence of other purples. The two fighters appeared to be nearly evenly matched. The olive troll ducked and weaves amid blindly fast punches from the purple, slashing at him with grandiose and arm gestures, trying to overwhelm him with the barrage of small attacks. Every one of his punches hits hard enough to knock her down, but she always springs up before he can land a second hit. She's incredibly steady on her feet, and quicker than he. In fact, you get the distinct impression that the olive troll is holding back, presumably so to avoid inciting the crowd. Thus far, you have not seen a single match in which the lower-blooded opponent triumphed over the higher-blood foe. I must admit, this match is a lot more tense than I was expecting, but I hope it ends soon. There's supposed to be a really famous muscular theaterist performing next. Her name is Nihkee Moohlah, and she hasn't ever lost a fight. Well, we are going to meet her at some point. I heard she even beat a Violet Blood once. Nihkee Moohlah, huh? Now that's a name you could befriend. She must be a big deal as the media makes her out to be, because she uses her real name instead of just a ridiculous made-up nonsense like John Cena or Hulk Hogan. Yeah, ridiculous names. Oh, look. He got her. You flinch. The Purple Blood finally managed to get his quarry into his clutches, and he lifts her up by the face, digging his fingers into her skull until you hear a sickening crunch, and she collapses to the ground, panting heavily. She can't bring herself back to her feet, but the announcer calls the match to uproarious applaud from the audience. Two trolls enter the cage and start dragging her out, while the winner basks in the audience's affection. The olive blood looks like she'll probably live, but she's got a dent in her face, and that probably isn't coming out ever. All of a sudden, you think you really need to go. Get a bathroom. You need to use the snack. You mean you'll be right back? Oh, okay. Come back soon. This fight has given me all sorts of ideas for new paintings. You quickly make a break for it, jostling your way through the stands and towards the exit of the arena. Before you can make it, a voice calls out to you. Some slick-haired and slick-finned Violet Blood guy, wearing a full suit of a tacky flame patterned on it. Hey you, alien. Me, you ask? Pointing to yourself nervously. No, the other alien. You swing your head around wildly, looking for the other alien. This bit plays out predictably for a while before you both get onto the same page, which is that you are the alien whose attention he wants. You looking to make a little extra buck? No, not really. You never spend all the money you won with Azdaja. Oh, how about fame? Frankly, you're probably already too famous for your own good. Friendship? Oh, crap, yeah. Signing with a relief, the troll leaps you backstage, whistling, explaining how he's a promoter for the wrestling ring. One of the trolls that was supposed to perform tonight was eaten by some plant called a troll-devouring catch grubber. As such, famed muscular theorist Nihkee Moohlah has been left with nobody to fight. You'll be that nobody, somebody. An alien will bring it in all sorts of media attention and controversy, which of course means big bucks for him and friendship for you. Cool. Nihkee is so friendly, he says, in a tone so insincere, even your friendship-addled brain refuses to believe it. It's okay. You've met worse. Huh. He takes you to the back of the room, which he seems to be full of performers waiting for their turn to... I'm just distracted by the background, where that lady looks like she's going to punch the guy sitting next to him, one of them. Well, we don't know what they identify as. There's all sorts of trolls here, muscular and sweat-soaked, blue-blooded more often than not. One troll in particular stands out to you, from her severe expression and her softly pulsating robotic leg, to the fact that she's also the only troll with a fully illustrated sprite. Yeah. She's currently doing bicep curls with a set of spiked weights, huffing with exertion. When the promoter approaches, she looks up with a scowl. I'm busy. He begins to explain that he has brought a new challenge for her to face. But she cuts him off, and she stands up. She isn't as tall as you expected, but damn if she isn't dense, packing more brawn than any other troll you've met. Do you want me to know what happened, sister, to people who disturb my preparations? Do you want to experience the bone-crushing, torso-shattering impact of these ladies right here? She flexes. God, those muscles are huge. The promoter tells her that she really doesn't need to keep up the act. There's no cameras back here. She gives him a stern look, which distinctly suggests that she has never dropped kayfabe in her life and has no intention to start now. Make it quick. The promoter makes it quick. So let me get this straight. You expect me, to perform with this thing? She seems less impressed, which you find reasonable. Magnificent legs aside, you don't really look like the wrestling type. Don't you dare insult me, sister. I'd rather you pull up a rusty from the audience than subject me to this humiliation. Oh. You're more than just an audience member. Frail though you may be, but you have heart and the soul of a wrestler. You have a look. Much longer than about 5 minutes, you thoroughly assure her. Waited for an opening such as this to reveal your true passion to the world. To come alive on stage and grapple and tumble with the best of them. For eons, you have thirsted for the chance to sing the song of Sinew, the hymn of heft, the melody of muscle. Would that you could be blessed by the opportunity to live the life of the athlete, to perform alongside your hero, to show the world that you too love to do the muscly thing. That you might just... Okay, I get it. She glances over to the promoter and then back to you. It does seem surprisingly articulate for a lesser being. But this is ready for a butt clenching, flesh upbraiding, knuckle blistering, muscle rippling smackdown from uptown. My instant response is so yeah, time to move on to the next page, and predictably the save's not gonna work. Okay, game just likes to prove me wrong. Actually, you're starting to sound like... Yeah, this is starting to sound like a little much of you. You aren't sure if you can quite match her enthusiasm for the craft. Who do you think you are, sister? You, who has the globes step to me. You come into my dressing room with those flimsy, stringy, insultingly puny arms of yours. Look at me in the eyes and challenge me to a match. Beg for the chance to spar with me. And then cluck out of like a pathetic alien whelp that you are. Get out of my sight. Head bowed low, you retreat to the safety, comfort, and friendless expanse that is the audience. You can't even bear to look at Nihkee when she goes out and performs. You're so saddened by the loss of the potential chum. Well, that is it's kinds of grisly watching her low-blood challenges from the audience and smash their face into the spikes. That is not necessarily an image we wanted to see. Okay, so that's the scariest one we've had so far. Okay, yes, we are. You nod your head confidently. Blister my knuckles and brave my flesh, you say. Let's get the smackdown started. You've got goods, at least. She turns to the promoter and gives him a curt nod. The match is on. Then she turns to you. Now, sister, We need to discuss the show. I will make the decision. I will make all the decisions. You will respond adequately to the storyline I present. It will be thus: the alien invader challenging me to an exhibition match to topple the monarchy or the mightarchy. They fight valiantly and show an entertaining display of strength, but in the end, as is right and proper, the nobler hue of the hemo spectrum prevails again. Hurrah. She flexes and shows off all of the imagined. She starts flexing and showing off for an imaginary audience before turning back to you. Any questions, sister? Yes, actually. You have a couple of questions. First off, will you die? No. Unless you're particularly disgustingly weak, in which case, maybe. Such is a risk we take, we who indulge in the most noble and dignified of sports. I was willing to give you my leg for the craft. Is your life such a heavy price to pay for for a table that will transcend us and be remembered in the annals of muscular history? Is it, sister? Well, time to go back. Oh no, roll back. It was rhetorical, is it, sister? Well, that's going to be an issue. Hold on, history. We'll just go this way. Roll back. Do I have to keep going back again? History. Roll back. Oh man, so many technical issues. Yes. I'm willing to give my leg up for the craft. Is it just is it, sister? Well, it's rhetorical. Oh, okay then. I'm stupid, never mind. Right, secondly, when she says exhibition match, it's a muscular theatre term, referring to a match staged for entertainment that does not affect one's ranking on the flex ladder. We will not be sparring in the nude. Such glorious display of raw, chiseled physique are reserved for the intergalactic trolley nymphs. Trolympics. Trolley nymphs. I'm stupid. I'm not having it. Yeah, you got no, yeah, you got that. Mostly you were wondering if it meant like the loser's head will be exhibited on a pike, or some other bloodthirsty nonsense. Do not disintegrate. Do not denigrate this noble sport with the claims of savagery. Thirdly, will you be getting a sense that she's going to be playing by heel, right? Yeah. The what? You explain that in your own cultural equivalent of muscular theatre, performers genuinely fall to the category of face or heel, wherein the face is the rule-abiding and sympathetic figure of the audience is meant to root for, whereas the heel takes on a more aggressive and unlikable personality. What part of my personality is unlikable? Do you dare suggest, sister, that the audience won't be roaring in thunderous applaud and admiration as I conquer yet another pitiful foe? You tell her, you know what? She's got both the face and heel. You'll just be the subjugated under my heel. Yeah, exactly. Hey Moohlah, chatting time's over. You're up. She jerks your head back at you and silently marches out of the room. You begin to follow, and the promoter directs you to your entrance of the other side of the arena. You wait nervously for your cue to enter. Well, folks, we've had some technical difficulties, but here comes a match you've all been waiting for. Wearing the belt of the champions and the leg of her own design, she's ready to gut the competition. A paragon of power, a lady of legwork, a true blue ruffian annihilator is in the making. Clap those hands for the and activate your screech crevices. It's Nihkee Moohlah. Nihkee approaches the cage with a thunderous applaud, raising her arms and soaking it in the praise. Aha. She flexes and poses as the audience throws glasses of milk at her, which shatter uselessly as around her steely frame. This appears to be a common ritual for her. Why would you want milk thrown off you? She steps through one of the cage doors and it slams it shut behind her, locking tight, with her arms crossed and her teeth firmly gritted. She awaits you as the announcer brings in a new intro speech and you step forward. And in the other corner, frail in stature, weak in the knees, wearing a perpetual look of befuddlement, we have some messed up low-blood alien. How has this absurd mockery of a life not been killed yet? Perhaps only so fate could lead them to their thrashing at the bloodthirsty hands of bobbed foot of the grand Nihkee. A decent portion of the crowd boos at you during your approach, which you find unsurprising. You have to dodge a hail of boots and rotten fruit. Somebody throws an entire piano at you. How? Relatively unfazed, you enter the ring and hear the door close behind you. So, you've come here, alien, to prove your kind superior to the unbreakable, unstoppable troll species. Yeah, you shout. You're kind of so superior to trolls. And you, their emissary. Does this creature look superior to you, my theatre enthusiasts? She turns to the audience, throwing out her hands in gestures to you. They boo. Is this sorry specimen the best its planet can offer? More boos. You counter that you come from more than prepared to tackle the mighty Archie. Yeah, that. So, you claim to be prepared. But are you prepared to face these 24-inch slither noodles? Slither noodles. Okay, cool. She flexes so hard the announcer's sleeves explode. What? She flexes so hard someone else's sleeves explode. So be it. I'll crush you in a single blow. You experience you're expecting a referee to start the match, but then it occurs to you that there is no referee. Somewhere in the distance, a bullhorn sounds, which is apparently the signal to begin. Without taking her eyes off you, Nihkee grabs the cage wall behind her and hoists herself up effortlessly, scaling it up in reverse until she reaches the top. The announcer is screaming something about the move being called the spiky Nihkee. Okay. Once she finishes her ascension, Nihkee deftly leaps from the edge of the cage and spins down towards you. Her body twists and writhes in multiple blindingly fast flips before her robotic leg comes slashing at you. You spend quite some time admiring her dazzling form before it occurs to you that you should probably move. You duck and roll forward, feeling the point of her leg just barely graze your scalp. The announcer shouts "First Blood" as you feel electrical down the back of your neck. Some members of the crowd are booing, presumably because they just noticed the colour of your blood. Between the neon light in the distance, they probably just think it's a rust-coloured and not a mutant red. So at least you have that going for you. What you don't have going for you is the time to think about your next move, because Nihkee pivots on her heel and charges at you. This time she's going for a more theatric throw. Two powerful hands grab you and lift you up on her shoulder, where you nearly gore yourself on one of her horns as you struggle to escape. You plant two hands on her back and push hard, and you are delighted to find out her grip loosens. You can also tumble over her back, landing with a clumsy stagger on your feet. You're not sure if she'd let you get away with that for the sake of the show, or if you just slipped out of her sweat-soaked palms. But you're going to charitably assume the former. Yeah, she seems like someone who would let us go for the show. She turns to fake you, grunting and baring her fangs. She charges, rearing back a fist, and sending it barreling towards you, your fragile human nose. You leap out the way, only narrowly dodging it. All you've done is avoid me, coward. Where's your killer instinct? Do I scare you? Do you loathe to my face my true blue, muscle-bound beauty? You take this one as your cue to attack, and instead you run full tilt away from her. It isn't fear carrying you, you swear. Fool! There's no running or hiding from Nihkee Moohlah. Stand and fight. She sprints towards you as you flee. The crowd is on tenterhooks. Nobody knows what you're doing. At least all of you. At least of all of you. Okay. But do you think that you can pull something off cool like this? You leap at the cage wall, barely dodging at the spikes of that line it, and use the slight amount of given the chain link wires to springboard you off. With an exuberant grin, you go flying towards her, arm out of the classic clothesline maneuver, and then you collide with her own arm and whop. Where are we now? When you wake up, you're lying on the what appears to be an exercise mat. You can feel the telltale throbbing sensation that in your face that indicates a black eye. The rest of you, thankfully, does not feel particularly hurt. Nearby, you can hear the huff and puff of exertion. You glance over to spot Nihkee training on one of those leg press machines you've always saw in gyms but never had the courage to attempt to use. She's wearing an exercise outfit which, despite its vast different purpose, looks almost exactly like the outfit she wore in the ring. It has all the functions of a fitness aficionado would want. It's loose, it's breathable, and the artist don't have to draw a second set of sprites for it. Cool, the meta jokes. As soon as she notices you're awake, she turns to speak to you. She doesn't even stop her workout. You're finally awake, sister. Welcome to my hive. I've spent so much time, so much precious, valuable time, waiting for you to open your eyes. Oh god, how long have you been out? About 40 minutes. Oh well, no, at least it wasn't like a day. Boo. No, it's not that bad, is it? Perhaps, but only when compared to your abysmal performance in the ring. To be knocked out cold by your own attack. Wretched. I am an impossible foe to conquer, and yet even a rusty has towed me longer than in the realm of Mortal Kombat. You are weak, sister. Offensively so. She slams her foot forward with such velocity. The weight on the leg press goes flying off and leaves a dent in the floor. Grunting, she stands, takes a long swig of the bottle, and approaches you with fire in her eyes. What do you have to say for yourself? You scroll backwards, proffering only a sheepish smile. You're sorry, you guess? I didn't bring you here for apologies. I brought you here to see your heart ignite with the will to improve. You're not a worthless being. You have a flair for the theatrics, an appreciation for the sport, and a shining soul, filled with only the most intractable determination. You could be so much more than you are, sister. I could make you so much more. Cast your gaze around you and behold the Brawnazeum. You obediently cast your gaze around. This room is massive and littered with training equipment as far as the eye can see. Much of it is reasonable exercise machines like the ones you had in gyms back on Earth. But there are plenty more that look like far more alien and deadly. A treadmill that appears to throw the runner into a vat of acid if they fall off. A series of swinging axes that would look at home in a dungeon. 3 different varieties of Iron Maidens, each of more horrific than the last. This is presumably Nihkee's personal workout studio, but you could easily mistake it for a torture chamber. You wonder if her daughter has ever considered a job as a professional trainer. Maybe you should bring it up with her. There are some who may be worthy of my expertise. It is here that I can forge can forge them, just as I forge myself, into beings of adamantite strength. The journey will be harsh. If you're made of weaker stuff than I believe, you will perish in agony. But if your core is strong, you will, and your will of iron, yours will be unquenchable. You'll be an unquenchable might. She extends a hand to you, her jaw set. I like this sprite. She looks so nice. Join me, sister, and together we shall ascend to triumphant heights of muscular perfection. There is a look in her eyes that you have never seen before. One of hope, of faith. Her arm vibrates, muscles quaking. Do you take it? If we hesitate, then obviously, clearly, we do not have the strong will. So I think this is the wrong one. You begin to offer your hand, but under her steely gaze, your resolve wavers. This all seems like a lot, too much even. You don't know if you're made of stuff tough enough to even train for the training she seems to be offering. You would like to prove yourself, to become strong. You really would. But does she perhaps just maybe have any courses a little easier on soft and squishy creatures like yourself? The expression on her face grows terrifyingly blank. She's not scowling or snarling or sickened by any other S word. She just looks at you with the vaguest hint of disappointment dripping from her overwhelming neutral expression. I see. You're like all the rest, aren't you? Unworthy to receive my gifts. Unwilling to reach your fullest potential. A pathetic, simmering thing, playing at dreams of muscular greatness it can never achieve because it doesn't have the will of it. You're an insult to my art. You spit on my passion. Get out of my face and do not ever dare to return. Shrinking under her steel gaze, you quickly flee out her hive. Is this it for you? Is the screen going to fade black, replaced by a goofy cartoonish end card, and some somber game over music composed by artistic genius James Roach? Oh, this is meta revved. No, you refuse. You will not get ready to call this friendship kaput. You'll show her and her draconian methods up. Damn it, it's time to get ripped. You're going to do it your way, and then return, and then she will be so utterly impressed by your muscular growth, she will have no choice but to admit that you are a friend material. Sadly, you do not know any other blue bloods characterized by an absurd love of muscle and bodybuilding. They're basically all total nerds, actually. But you can perhaps think of some from a nearby Hugh who can help you. Her door swings open with gusto, and you're greeted by a familiar smiling face. Oh, what an unexpected surprise. You really should have called. Or text. Or did literally anything else to alert me that the fact that you wanted to visit me on such a short notice, or when my schedule is terribly packed. But that's alright, I can squeeze a meeting in, sure. Do come in. You step past the threshold of the door and into the office/living room. Tisius is sprawled out across the couch, lazily holding up a book to her face. It looks like she's studying, which is a relief to you because you would have felt terrible if you had interrupted some intimate time between them. Unless studying is intimate for them, you kind of hope studying isn't intimate for anyone. The prospect terrifies. Would you like to join me in Zizi for some grub loaf? It's no imposition. It's no imposition. I promise. You absolutely would. You didn't know Stelsa was a cook on top of everything else she does. Oh no, I could never. There simply isn't enough time. Okay. I'm just ordering from Door Smash. Cool, that's a fun play on. It's excellent stuff. Really, Zizi has some very colourful words for the taste. It's pretty good. Yes, it certainly is. It is certainly. That's Pencil, our good friend here, in for a dinner date. Could you, darling? They're literally already here. We don't need to do that. Stelsa pauses and blinks, as if processing the foreign concept. Right. Sometimes Stels forgets that you don't have to put everything on a schedule. Which is fair. School feeding changes its role. Stelsa pulls up a chair and gestures for you to sit down in front of her desk. All that said, while we wait for the meal to arrive, let's get down to the brass tacks. What brings you to my lovely abode tonight? Maybe they just want to see you. People don't always need a reason beyond that. You actually do have a reason, though. Crap. You explained to Stelsa that you're a friend, more accurately, a friend-to-be, or perhaps a acquaintance, or perhaps a person of chum-adjacent quality, who you would like to impress through a pursuit of personal fitness. You recall Stelsa was jogging when you met her, so maybe you could help put together a fitness routine. You could also do some workouts together. Her expression lights up, and she claps her hands together. Oh goodness, I would absolutely love that. My poor Susie is usually far too tired and far too busy. Sometimes I don't know how I manage it myself. So I'd absolutely love a partner to keep train Zeziat running on time. Assuming, of course, you won't be late for yourself and can keep up with my pace. A fair warning, it's blistering. Isn't it, though? Thanks, Sweetums. You confidently assert that, if nothing else, you can keep up with her pace. Your legs are have seen a lot of use. Walking, running, fleeing, prostrating yourself before clowns, you know, the usual. Excellent. Well, set up some meetings and then I'll add you to my schedule. My people will call your people, etc, etc. Thanks for visiting. It's been ever so lovely to see you. Toodaloo. She's halfway through shoving you out the door when you remind her that she invited you for grubloaf. She hastily and apologetically pulls you back inside. Tizia snickers in the background. Don't know what I'd do if I didn't have Stels. Someone has to be the energetic one in this quadrant. Yeah. The contrast is certainly a stark one. Has Tizia's considered quaffing energy drinks here and there? Perhaps they could help her keep her pep up. 1, I'd probably literally die. 2, you don't want to see me on energy drinks. Well, now I do. Nobody does. Fair. You spend a while longer chatting with Tizius before the delivery arrives, and the three of you have dinner together. The Grubloaf is exactly as great as advertised. A wonderful meal with wonderful friends. The perfect precursor to the fitness montage yet to come. You visit Stelsa multiple days a week, fitting yourself into her incredibly convoluted and packed schedule. The feat doesn't exactly prove very hard. You basically just exist to spend time with friends. Her equipment is slightly free of torture devices. Besides the step machine, she also owns quite a bit of small exercise paraphernalia. Aerobics doodads and thingy-majigs, yoga mats, jogging outfits. Even one of those huge bouncy exercise balls, which she bans you from using after you accidentally send it careening into a carefully organized stack of books. Stelsa carries herself forward with a peppy, always-on sense of gusto that can be difficult to keep up with, but her bright and smile and encouraging attitude do wonders to keep you invested, to convince you that you really can acquire the swolehood you'd have dreamed of. By the end of the perigee, you are, well, you wouldn't exactly call yourself ripped, but your muscle is definitely toned in a way you previously were not. You feel hale and healthy and more energetic than ever, but with a bit of extra prep in your step. Apparently, regular exercise makes you feel good. Wild. As you look at yourself in the reflection of a acid puzzle, you flex and watch your muscle bulge. Hell yeah, it's time. At least you hope it's time. You climb into your skull buggy and prepare to set it on autopilot to Nikki's place, but something still stills your hand. Some strange sensation that has been slowly, surely settling in your stomach. A sense of unease or dread. Your days of foolish ignorance are long past, and in their place of burgeoning understanding of the universe which you exist, and the harsh laws by which it rules its inhabitants. You are beginning to fear made the wrong choice, with all the consequences such as a lapse in judgment entails. Will you ever truly befriend Nihkee, or are you cursed to live, for who knows how long, in a world without her sweet smile to cure your insatiable addiction? But mayhaps you need another. Not wonder. Mayhaps the time has come to look inside yourself and know. You're going to give her your chakras one real blitzing. It's going to take mood music for the highest caliber. Having picked up some meditative tips from Boulder, you navigate your skull buggy as radio dial and to achromatic buzz, a station which is currently playing some soothing ocean sounds. The gentle lap of water meeting the shore, the rhythmic beat of the tide, as steady and as sweet as a mother's heartbeat. It's interspersed with the distant honks and weird animal chittering, of course, because it's still Alternia. You lean back into your seat, reclining it as far as it can go, and sink into the cushiony softness. Something sharp is poking at your rib, but you try to ignore it. You close your eyes and allow the white noise to flood your senses, blocking everything else out. Oh yeah, you're really vibing to this stuff right now. Chakra status, blitzed to high hell. You imagine casually. You imagine causality as a river. Every choice a branch. Tributaries, upon tributaries, winding ever down, pooling in lakes of inevitability. The pit in your stomach gnaws. It all ends here, stagnant, bitter water, reeking of death. The ocean ever out of reach, your soul ever yearning for the single, solitary, estuary amount of ceaselessness spills away. You take a deep breath. Water laps onto the side of your and it tickles your ears. You are adrift. You feel a gentle bob as you float down the river. Hear the rush of a tickling clock. Gravity as time pulling you ever forward. Which river is this? To what end does it deliver you? Your breathing slows, then shudders. You feel the rapids approach. The river's blur, then shifts your heart rewinds, misses a beat, a surge of emotion. Water streaking down the curves of your cheek. Your lungs ache. Which lungs? Which river? Which you? You try to focus, but the water beats at your brow, lashes at your arms and legs. Too tired to swim. You try for another deep breath, but nothing comes. With a tumultuous gasp, you sink beneath the surface, the churning darkness below. Here, amidst the battering onslaught, the images come. Wells of emotion, of sound, of thought. Memories best forgotten or never known. Lakes meant to retain uncharted. The crack of thunder, rain and tearfall, a single drop of olive, and the record skips. This is from the timeline where Boulder died, and peace through rage. The world of the carousel. Horses whiny as the collapse sings in the circle. It takes you from Caraco to Rona. Searching eyes implore you. The puppet strings stretch towards the moon. The flash of the blade, the spray of blood. Her strings are cut. The cackle of energy. The world gone grayscale. Eyes deeper than the deepest pit. A shuddering final breath. You are lost, lungs burning, water clogging every inch. You furrow your brow. Think, think. Find your river. There seems to be several places in once. Coughing, wheezing, a final rattle gasp. Panic seizes you. A resounding crack. The stamp of hooves and the ricochet of gunfire. The death of one of thousands. A low, sinister honk. Footfalls loud and deep. The swing of a club. Blood on the pavement. Dark, acrid smoke. Insidious voices and crackling intercom. A lurch beneath you. Feet thrown out. Neon energy crackling green. Choking, desperate, lungs aflame. You focus your will. Where are you? Where are you? Which are you? Find your river. Piercing eyes, a stern, uncompromising gaze. The singe of acids, crushing spikes. The body the discredited corpse of my ancestors could do better than this. So this is if we trained, right? The one body of nothing, of all her approval. The puppet of exertion, grey muscle and grey muscles flex and sprites spirits lighten. The gulp of water, the shine of a smile, and this is a looping tape, mirrors and mirrors. The mind, like time, infinite. The tributary splits, and you finally drift down your chosen route. Freshwater visions as you float towards the surface. You shrug and start. Hold on, what's it saying there? You shrug and start the vehicle, punching on. Oh, punch. Yeah, this is. Carefree decision. Skull buggy legs, and the thumb of the engine. Cityscapes passing by. This is the future now, isn't it? How dare you how dare you insult me by showing your face again? Stern anger, a fist tightly clenched, shaking, barely restrained. Hope crushed under the rigid foot. At time you can, like these, you envy the Homebloods. Will you envy them quite? Well, you envy them quite often. Actually, they've been amazing. They've got amazing strength, unbelievable, beautiful rap gods, and honestly, Fago's starting to grow on you. But right now, you just wish you were a contortionist. These vents are way too tight. Plan poorly conceived. See, look how strong you are. You can lift those weights with ease. You could lift something bigger. You could be happy and to demonstrate if she would just stop advancing on you with the intent to full Nelson you're behind. Desperation, madness, friendship at all costs. My other leg. Navy blood pooling on the concrete. Troll plan. Both collapsing. Cold and hatred in her eyes. You're just thankful that you managed to snatch your water ball out of the skull buggy before she tore it in half. The importance of hydration is never more evident than when you spend hours fleeing in terror. How is she even doing this with only one working leg? Tense footfalls on the pavement. Muscles strained to exhaustion. The sun rising over the desperate chase. Swallowing your fear, you leap across the tracks. Movements before another train comes, screeching past you. Just behind you can hear a grunt and a scream louder than any more agonizing than you've ever heard before. Is it? After days, is your odyssey at an end? Escape. Sweet bliss is sooner to shatter. Hope and bone turn to steel. I can't disable her cybernetics. They are too entwined with her biology. Get back, she's about to strike, damn it. Fruitless assistance, your clothing, soul, stained with blood, no more. Your promise died ages ago. But you've been etching lines into the back of to keep track of the time. You're nearing the 1 year anniversary of, well, you're not sure what to call it. The day you irrevocably ruined your life. The day you fled into the untamed wild. You would celebrate, but you doubt you would have time. She can't be far. One more step, one more desperate step. 1 foot after another in endless chase. You try your best to stifle your rags. Fearful breathing, but you know it's fruitless. Nothing can hide the terrified pounding in your heart to her bionic ears. Nor the heat of your blood to her infrared senses. She can find you here, drenched in fear, in sweat, hidden, but not well enough. Habump. The Nihkee Borg searching blue eye. Nihkee Borg's searching blue eye flashes in her darkness. There is no more hiding. You close your eyes. The curtains fall. One final heartbeat at the end of things. You emerge from beneath the surface of the with a gasp, coughing up water, and is it just you sitting? It's just you sitting in your skull buggy. Gentle white noise still playing on the radio. You take a moment to catch your breath. Your heart thumping against your ribcage, like it wants to crawl out and beat you senseless for subjecting it to all that nonsense, the horse nonsense. Oh, okay, enough meditation for one day. So we just predicted the future that Nihkee would eventually turn into a cyborg, kill our friends, kill us. Well, we would last a year though. That's generous, I think. You think that you're going to reach over and kind of set the autopilot to Stelz's house instead of Nikki's, yeah. You have no idea if this will ever revert or merely delay the horrifying and grisly end or another, but it's better than the alternative. And besides, you really want some more of that grub love. Yeah, why is Nihkee so it's just terrifying? Anyway, so yeah, hesitation was the wrong choice. Take a hand. You take a hand, staring into those hopeful eyes. Oh, to see that deep sapphire blue filled with the glow of friendship. She squeezes your hand so tightly you can feel your fingers fracturing. Excellent. I knew you had the spark. Now, to make a flame, to grind and crush and pummel the flint until it burst into the roaring blaze of strength. Today I shall begin by testing your limits. Come. She leads you to the treadmill and the deep bubbling pit of acid directly behind it. You nervously step on. We're going to measure your speed and stamina. Run until you can run no longer. She starts up the machine. She gives you a nice, breezy jogging pace at first, but the tread quickly begins to whir away at a blindingly fast rate. You're sprinting as hard as you can to keep up, holding desperately onto the arm of the treadmill. Come on, sister, grit your teeth. Put some thrust sinew into it. If you're not evacuating your acid attack by the time we're done, you aren't trying hard enough. Sweat beads on your forehead as you push your legs to the limit, running like you've being chased by an angry drone. Your feet must be blurring like Sonic the Hedgehog by now. The treads are moving ever faster, and you can almost feel like yourself slipping. Got to hold. You lose your grip and go flying backwards, narrowly grasping onto the edge of the pit and dangling into it. Your toes singed by the acid. Youch. You hoist yourself up over the edge and roll to the side, hissing. Nihkee stands over you, clucking her tongue. Top speed, 12 miles per hour. That's good, right? For a bronze blood. Next test. She takes you for a machine-to-machine in quick succession, each time commenting on your skill level. Your biceps are as terrible as Rusty's. Your lungs are gold at best. Your legs are an unexpected cerulean. While all the while taunting you, encouraging you to push yourself further. The dissected corpse of my ancestor could do better than this. You struggle to deadlift the giant bubble made of dead monster skull. Are you going to eject dismay fluid all night long? Or are you going to woman up? You go toe to toe with the punching bag that shoots sonic blasts from at you wherever you hit it. Shape up or get ejected from into the near soulless evacuation barge. You sob as she forces you to do 30 minutes of freeform jazzercise. Your jazz hands are terrible. Oh man, thought we'd be good at jazz hands. By the time the hour is up, you are panting and huffing, desperate for a break. Nihkee finally relents. Your reward is staying alive this far. Stay hydrated, sister. She tosses you one of those protein shaker bottles that the gym buffs always chugging from. You regard the mixture within curiosity for a moment before throwing a caution to the wind and gulping some down. When the embedding alien substance ever hurt you before, but when the flavor hits you, your taste buds, you almost retch. Is this Gatorade mixed with milk? Nutritious and delicious. You keep chugging. You need the liquids, foul as they may be. Alright, lactose break over. Let's continue. She next leads you over to one of those Iron Maidens. This one doesn't actually look spiked, it's just has a blunt, bumpy surface on the inside. Get in. What? Get in, sister. You reluctantly step into the Iron Maiden and the doors clamp shut around you. The thing is far too tight for you, and the bumps are all pressing into you from all the side, threatening to squeeze you away into nothing. You groan and push back against the wall, desperately trying to keep from crushing you into a little human waffle. Just when you think your strength is about to give out, the Iron Maiden opens. Pressure resistance, about solid level. These results are surprisingly adequate. Your potential continues to shine. Good work. This halfway point seems to mark a change in her attitude, as you continue to just barely persevere through everything he throws at you, like a shake weight as powerful that it leaves you shuddering intermittently through the next few exercises. Keep steady, sister. Don't lose heart on me now. A rogue machine that douses you with boiling water if you can't keep up pace. Go, go, go. We'll make a future medalist out of you yet. Literally being chased around a field outside by a giant toothy monster. Don't you dare allow this thing the satisfaction of feasting on your bones. After hours of this grueling work, you finally collapse. You think some of your bones are broken. Your heartbeat is coming out in quick and irregular pulses, and you can hardly breathe. Your vision blurs and shifts into at the edge. God, you're amazed you haven't passed out yet. Get up. You glance weakly up at Nihkee, expecting her to be looking down at you with disdain, but instead, you see her crouching down and offering you a hand, wearing a smile. You take her hand and she pulls you up to your feet. See, she looks so nice with when she's not killing everyone. You look at her face and you look at her face now resembles pride. And when she claps a palm down on your shoulder, it only kind of hurts. You done well, sister. I threw everything I had at you, and you soldiered on with your head held high, even as your body broke beneath the weight. I have never seen such a commitment, such strength of heart and soul, such dedication to the craft, such appreciation for the most righteous of pursuits. You are not a mere workout partner, you are a workout friend. A light blossoms inside you like the neighing of a horse. The feeling of power, of strength, of the bond between warriors. This is the real and true. This is the light that will never ever leave you. As you bask in the satisfied and sweaty glow of a good workout, you realize the planets, universes, dimensions, realities, powers, principles, and cosmos come up and go, but being swole as hell is forever. Nice, we got a belt. Correct. Cool. Anyway. Nihkee both scary and nice at the same time. It's weird. Anyway. Thank you for sticking by with this one, though. That is volume 17 done, so 2 more trolls to go. With that, I hope to see you on the next one. Goodbye.